Coming up in this episode of the Ktdata Anime Podcast.
The NEET and her puddin'.
And don't shoot blanks. Shoot love with the Werebeats. All that, and this is our final episode before we go on hiatus, and more coming up. This show begins in 3, 2, 1. It's time for the Ktdata Anime Podcast with Dito and Ktdata. The Ktdata Anime Podcast is brought to you by you, the fans. You guys are the best, and you're the reason we do what we do. Thank you, guys. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Ktdata Anime Podcast. I am Ktdata.
And I'm Dito.
And this is the podcast where Dito and I come together and watch some anime and then talk about it, and then also spend 2 hours previous to the show looking at figures and saying, oh dear, we're going to be broke. How are you doing today, Dito?
Feeling very broke, actually, after the... It's funny, like, for all those who come and see us, the pre-show and after-show itself, knows how much of a figure collectors we are and how much money we drop into this and into the show.
Well, so...
And into productions.
Yeah, so...
And into... our money just doesn't last.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Wonderfest in Japan just barely finished, and that's kind of like the giant show where all these figure companies show off their prototypes and their future plans for figures in the next year. And there's a lot of them that are like, oh man, I'm gonna have to pick that up when that comes out. I'm gonna pick that one up when that comes out. Oh, I gotta pick up that one when that comes out. Oh, I gotta, and then you start thinking about it, it's like, well, if I order from here, oh crap, that one's an exclusive. So if I'm going to buy one, I better buy 3 because it's not economic to pay $20 shipping on a figure. So you got to buy 3 of them. And even if you don't buy 3, if you don't buy 3, you don't get free shipping, or you can just pay $20, which you end up spending the same amount if you bought 3.
And then you have to determine also that, could I get it now or should I wait until I see it on another website? Because, there's like Mandrake that sometimes comes out for cheaper, or maybe that someone's going to sell it, or maybe you missed the pre-order and couldn't get it, and you want the exclusive one with the special paint or special pose, or maybe the ones with the special add-ons in it, like
special
like
wings. Like there's literally a figure I want to get, and the only difference between the normal version and like the S version is it has clear wings on the figure.
That's like the bane of our existence right here, guys. So for all those who are into collecting and into anime collecting or anime figure collecting, be warned. This is what you're going to go through at some point.
Keep an eye on our Facebook. We drool over it on Facebook. But Dito, today is a special episode, as it is our final episode of the spring 24 season, and it is the final episode before we take the show on hiatus for a while. It's nuts. Almost 3 years of doing this. I don't know what I'm going to do without it. It feels weird.
No, I know what you're going to do without it. You're just going to start another podcast. You're going to get so bored that you have to start something to keep your mind off.
Tuesdays are my podcast recording days, so I got to have a podcast to record. But it's just going to feel so weird not being able to talk to you all that often. But if this is your first time watching the Ktdata Anime Podcast, first of all, welcome.
We got way off topic.
You're welcome. And if you're wondering where do I watch all these animes and stuff, just pause the video, head on over to ktdata.net, and look for this episode 6 of the spring 2014 season, and look in the show notes. We'll have links to all the animes out there. You can watch it, then you can come back and understand what we're talking about. And while you're over there, watch some past episodes. Welcome, and hope you like our backlog. We got almost 3 years worth of backlog, so go watch that. All right, Dito.
Ow.
All right, Dito. How about we jump into our first of 2 animes of the night? And our first anime of the night is Ryugajo Nana no Maizuken, and it's brought to you by
NEET Nana. don't forget her pudding.
Pudding.
I swear this whole anime is about pudding. I don't care anyone
I
says.
really wonder if like pudding sales in Japan went up after this anime came out.
Honestly, I don't think it really mattered. I think this gave him a reason to advertise pudding. Anyways, in our last episode, we see a small peek into the club's past. How it is okay to break the law when you're searching for Nana's treasures of doom and anarchy. And this is about tying up loose ends now.
It's gonna fray. Caramelize it. Caramelize
it. So, for some reason, Nana's collections decided to end at episode 11, so we only have one episode to cover.
Yeah.
So, instead of since there wasn't really anything.
Well, we gotta resolve it. Remember, we left off on a cliffhanger. They were about to have the ultimate battle, and what's his face Jugo was about to win, and then bam, trump card comes out, right?
Well, we can sum it up easily itself. Should we sum it up easily, or should we just kind of go into?
Well, no. The one question I had was, did you notice that in the second episode, the environment stopped moving when it was like all, trying to be part of being an actual obstacle in the first episode, and now it's just like there as a backdrop for this fight.
Yeah, it's called budget cuts. They have to cut corners to save money on production.
Well, I would think it would be easy if you just copied and pasted, right? Just stock footage, rotate it, loop it around.
Yeah, but then that costs money.
That's what people are going to see after this. We're just going to take stock footage from our old seasons and splice them together, and they'll never know that we're not even here.
No. I will watch these videos and be like, was I drunk?
It's like, why does my shirt change like 5 times in this episode?
It would have been like that one time when we tried to record our opener the next day after because we forgot to. That's the prior day of recording. So it's like our opener looked different from our actual show.
And it's like, man, that Dito guy cannot stay still. He's always talking like this. Yeah.
No, that's just because my audio. That's because I lag in real life. Remember, after 3 years, I still lag. Okay.
You lag less than me these days if you watch the video.
Well, I can only see directly from Justin TV because, looking at Skype sucks, and it's like a 30-second delay.
All right, so okay, back to Nanana. They have their epic battle, and then things start resolving, or do they? To
be honest,
not really.
I don't know.
Not really. There's more questions that are asked. There are things that they open up in this last episode that you're like, I wouldn't mind them exploring it and all, but they don't.
Well, they opened a chest that...
and the thing is, they don't even show the chest opening. Now that's budget cuts right there.
Just a lock falls off.
A fake lock, an ornamental lock.
Yeah. It was the test of wits itself. Like, oh, touch this and something will happen, and maybe you get a spike in your ass.
Yeah. So actually, I had a question. So wasn't Nanana the one who hid all these treasures again? She's either playing dumb or somebody else hid the treasures when they were telling her about this chest and the lock. She's like,
So that's kind of one of my hypotheses of this whole show itself. It's like, what if Nana, that little trinket around her neck, is actually part of the collection itself that only projects her image in that room? And that would explain a lot how these.
So she's not really there. She's a hologram.
Yeah, it's like because her so-called death and everything itself, she like fakes her own death. Because if you think about itself, all her friends itself are about the same age, and she kind of looks the same age. Because in anime, girls don't actually age; they kind of look all the same until they all of a sudden they hit 60 and just monopause.
They're giant prune. On there, I don't know. Like, I think she's. I don't know. My theory is all these treasures are just pieces of her body, and then when you gather her up, it's going to be like Voltron, and then you can form her physical presence.
So, in other words, this became like Shika.
Yeah, it's going to be like form arms, and when you like put the pieces together, form legs. And then all at the end, she'll be like, and I'll form the head.
No, they're gonna be like, Wonder Twin powers activate.
No, that's our next anime. Get it right. Get it right.
Oh,
But yeah, I don't know. So they one of the things is they do open up that chest of weird lies and deceits on if Jugo and Nana kind of get it on.
yeah.
That's a
So,
little awkward.
so speaking of two, Tensai and Nana had a bet. How would you feel if you found that bet was being placed on you?
I wouldn't care because it's such a crappy bet. Like you lose either way. Let's be honest about
Exactly.
this. You lose either way, either financially or like physically and like emotionally.
Why not both?
And the funny thing is, Tensai, of all the things she tries to do is milk coffee. Seriously? Don't even want to go for something a little bit more extravagant than milk coffee? I mean, no. I understand with the pudding because that's all she need, but milk coffee.
It's kind of like the best of both worlds, because it's milk and milk gives you assets, and it's coffee, which kind of does opposite effect. But it's both good for you.
Where are you getting any of this knowledge from, man?
Anime. Anime logic.
This was very interesting kind of things you're putting together on there. But yeah, they're like they left the book open. So my question is, do you think they're gonna make another season? I want another season. I might need to go start reading the mangas and the light novels and whatnot, so I know what's going on. I want to know more. I mean, like,
this literally is one of those animes where it's like they could put a second season, but I kind of don't see a second season coming.
I mean, as long as Shia LaBeouf doesn't show up and try to like become Jugo's successor or something, I think I'm okay.
I almost have like I always want to say like, spoiler alert, so watch, it's like Jugo's father was who killed Nana or something like that. Some plot twist like that is just going to be like, the hell?
Yeah, or as long as Jugo doesn't have to go hide in a refrigerator to protect himself from a nuclear blast, I'm fine with that too.
Guardians of the Galaxy, what?
What? No. You never saw Crystal Skull, did you?
No, I have.
It's terrible, man. Terrible.
I've seen some bad things in my life, but yeah.
And yet it wasn't as bad as Transformers. Yeah. So yeah, I do hope
Michael Bay.
Yeah, I do hope they get another season, or I'm gonna really have to go read the manga on this one. I wanna know. I wanna know so badly.
I've been doing that with some of the current animes out there right now. I'm like, and I'm reading the manga on my breaks.
All right, let's go into our final anime of the night, where there are lots of questions that need to be had and a video game going on all at the same time. And our final anime of the night is No Game, No Life, and is brought to you by Love or Loved 2, the sequel. Now with Nerve Gear support. Oh yeah! All right, so in our last episode, Sora gets lost. Shiro finds him and lets the Were games begin! Isn't that how it goes? May the odds be in your favor?
Echo, 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 echo.
Yeah. All right.
Aha!
All right, so we finally actually get into the game, and come on, you gotta admit, they jump into Nerve Gears.
They're oversized Nerve Gears, yes.
Yeah, it's like Mark 1 Nerve Gear or something.
Mark 00.
This is the before the inventor got crazy and decides to trap everyone in a video game.
And this is when he was much hairier, had fangs, had a tail, and it had as overprotective old man that had a thing for lolly panties.
Better believe it, man. All right. So the game rules are pretty much 4-on-1, and all you have to do is shoot some love at the other person, and you can win if you're the last love standing.
But there are a few different things too. You'll get I don't want to call it a love grenade or a heart grenade. They didn't really specify, but yes, you get a heart-shaped grenade.
That's like a smoke grenade, really.
Yeah, basically it's a smoke grenade. But every time you fire, you lose some love power. But every time you shoot an NPC, you gain love power back. Pretty simple. But the key is it ricochets.
Yeah, and I loved how they animated the intro for this fake video game. Like if you guys usually skip intros of animes and stuff, do not skip this intro of No Game No Life. They actually fully animated the intro sequence for the game, so it's totally different than what you normally see. Like I loved it. I loved it.
These last 2 episodes, they didn't actually have an opener.
That was so great about that. And so you can friendly fire also works. And
not just any friendly fire. So though it's like
super friendly fire.
It's friendly fire you would actually do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two reasons why you want a friendly fire. One, if you lose your love power, you become uninterested and unable to shoot or play. So if you fire an ally,
you up.
Yep, it's literally you shoot an ally, they get a full charge of love power, and they're also under your control for a brief time.
They're totally in love with you because you just shot them full of love. Because all you need is love.
And then the second reason why you'd want to do it is for a love triangle. Because why not?
Because why not? And we also find out these bullets are a little more volatile than we thought because they also dissolve clothing.
And this is the secret of the game too. It's like why shoot them and get their love when you can shoot them naked.
Yes, and I've discovered a cool drinking game that you can do while you're playing No Game No Life. Every time Steph gets naked, take a shot. You will.
they have this like obsession of like, stripping her.
Yeah,
like this. I don't know where she gets her clothes back either. I don't know where she gets her clothes.
Well, she's a princess. She's got to have like a giant closet of clothes, right?
Even in the virtual world?
Yeah. Well, no, she was naked most of the time in the virtual world.
Exactly. Because anime logic.
It's like, well, even in the real world, she usually loses her clothes in some shape or manner.
And it's usually because of Shiro wearing her bra on her head.
Yeah. And
panties.
Yeah, did you notice how many air battles we had during this episode?
Like, more than you really want to count.
Yeah, and every I was like, okay, I mean, what is this episode where they play in Bayonetta where you're always on a falling clock tower?
or better yet, they are always in a free fall. No matter what, they had to have climbed a building 5 times just to jump from it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Just for hang time.
Yeah, but what's her face? So they're playing against the cat girl, lowly lady.
Izuna.
Izuna. And so they're winning right now because, of course, it's 4-on-1. I mean,
well, really, 3-on-1 because Steph is useless.
Yeah, don't be a Steph, guys. Don't be a Steph.
Don't be a Steph.
I'm watching you. Don't be a Steph. So, they're about to win, and then what does she go and do, Dito?
She pulls a Steph. No. So once we get Izuna is like kind of trapped. What do you want to call this? Rage mode?
No, she goes Super Saiyan on everyone. That's what, like over 9,000 right there. She even had the weird power chi glow around her. Let's be honest. When she landed, like she just needed her hair to turn blonde and her to fuse with a green guy, and it's all good.
She didn't have to go Super Saiyan. She went straight Super Saiyan 4 on that. I mean, it was red. You realize it's red, right?
Oh, did you actually put on your little power adapter thing just to see? And then you just went, it's over 9,000!
It crossed my head. It crossed my mind.
Oh, this isn't an episode of Dragon Ball, my bad. I thought I needed to act constipated for the rest of the episode.
You realize that if you did that, we'd have to be like sitting here like screaming for half an hour and then probably have a hernia and a big pile of poop.
I got a bucket.
I know you have a bucket of poop. I'm not denying that.
I clean the house. The house cleaners clean it, or Dito does actually, but we don't talk about that. Um. So, how do you think this battle turned out after Izuna turned all Super Saiyan on us?
It turned out what you would expect, and once you pass your physical limits and you have no ability to calculate, because Shiro's ability is to mass calculate itself, and if you can't get her to do
When
things
physics
right,
stops applying,
yes, you're screwed.
or so they think on there, and then all of a sudden, our Steph, who is unconscious by the way, at this point, manages to sneak up behind Azuna and
Just pop in the head.
because she's unconscious. Is it funny the only time that Steph has ever been useful is when she was unconscious?
That is the funny thing too. It's like Steph is one of those characters where it's like they like dumb her down so much herself, but then at the same time too, she's gonna be the one that actually wins in the end.
Because all you need is love, Tito. She was shooting out love.
Yeah,
Just
all
spurting
you
it
need
out.
is love. Just shoot him in the head. Headshot.
Yeah. So, and then we all, the game's won and everything, and Azuna's like, oh no, you're going to be the evil overlords and kill us all off and whatnot. And Sora's going like,
Are you daft?
you're my plentiful land of anime girls and animal anime girls.
And they just don't seem to understand that. So once you actually have your secret out, everyone wants to get back at you itself. You have the elves coming after you now, blah blah blah. You must seek revenge, right?
Yes. But no. Shiro and Sora have a different plan. They create, what was it called? The Elkian Federation.
Yes.
They've merged into one. So they did a country fusion.
Which makes sense too, because that means both races can still operate in their own fashion, but they're now united.
Yeah. And so they're getting ready for a season 2 on this.
Oh yeah.
Because there's 16 races. They've only gotten 2 chess pieces on there. And the elves are getting ready to march on them. And every time I hear the words elves, I just think like, is it going to be like Lord of the Rings where Legolas just comes out with a bunch of arrows and just shoots out humans?
And spends, out of 3 movies, 18 hours walking.
Out of technically 4 movies now, because he's in
4.
He's in that other Hobbit.
Yeah. So it's spending at least 3/4 of the movie walking. Whenever I think of this too, I'm just like, the elves go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. That look on your face.
But everybody becomes a winner in the game, right? So come on. Okay, let's make our predictions. Season 2 of No Game No Life, yay or nay?
Yay. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
All right. So out of our 3 animes that we did this season, Dito, which one was your favorite? Nisekoi, Na, and No Game No Life. Which one was your favorite?
Honestly, No Game No Life is the one that's been keeping me going from like episode to episode to episode. Like I've been just, as soon as it comes out, I want to watch it.
I'm all about Nisekoi, man. Like Na is really close because it's Indiana Jones, pretty much. But there's too many subgroups that I don't want to. I mean, that lady didn't even bake Jugo a cake. She promised them a cake with the special sugar that he smuggled in through his butthole to her.
That's true. It was through his butthole.
Isn't that how you always smuggle white powder? Or have I been watching too many movies?
You've been watching too many movies. Because I'm sorry, you don't smuggle white powder through your bum. It makes it looks like you're trying to smoke. You're trying to smoke, or you're trying to do cocaine through your butt.
You put them in balloons and then just
wipe the edges of it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's still good. It's sealed.
It's a little airborne. It's still good. It's still good.
So good. Oh, but yeah. So that's it, Dito. This has been the spring season of the spring 2014 season of the Ktdata Anime Podcast. So that's it. And like we said at the top of the show, this is the final episode before we go on a hiatus. If you guys are wondering, no, we're not canceling the show. We'll bring it back eventually. When are we going to bring it back? We don't know. Things are changing around, so we'll have to just see how everything settles out and works out for that. On there,
That's true.
Dito's going back to school. He's gonna be smarts. He's gonna get them brains.
Or something like that.
Gonna get them brains. And he's gonna come back. Oh yes, so we talk about the proliferation of blah 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 and your anamorphization of blah 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 blah. And he's gonna have a pipe too.
No,
when we come back, Dito's gonna have a smoking jacket and a pipe.
No. If anything, I come back, I'll have
a smoking jacket and a pipe.
No, I'll have a vapor.
And then he'll be like, Jeeves, get me the paper with blah, 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 blah on this so we can reference it.
At that point, I doubt I'll be even doing anime reviews. If I get to that point, so I probably won't. The show will be canceled at that point because there's no way I'd be still doing anime at that. But unless I want to be the anime critic.
And he's going to have an armchair with a cat that he just perched. Welcome to the Kita Anime Podcast. I'm Frenchy Dito.
Well,
here's my Grey Poupon.
At least my ideal would be that we can get together during the show and actually be in the same room to talk to each other.
With your Grey Poupon and your
my Grey Poupon
and your smoking jacket.
Yes, because we need to poop on everything.
And then maybe we'll get you a monocle too while we're at it.
No. Okay, now you're crossing into the no-go territory. Yeah, no monocles.
Because you'll be half blind with a monocle.
No, it'd be one of those I'm stopping there. It's like eye patches.
It's like you don't need depth perception, Dito.
I don't have depth perception anyways.
On there, but if you guys want to keep up with us, please pay attention to ktdata.net. That's where all our stuff will still be doing things, running around. I'll always be doing things and being loud. That's because that's what I do on there. So, and then, you can follow us on our Facebook page, facebook.com. Oh, I should do this. It's the final time, right? So you can find make sure you like us on Facebook, facebook.com/ktdata.net or ktdata.net. That's where all the stuff, and maybe we'll do anime previews posted up on there. Yeah, on there. Or if you are of the tweeting type, you can also give us a follow on the tweeters. Mine is at @KTData, and Dito's is at Ahoy Baby. On there, you just hit the button like this, and you can follow us. Or if you really want to find out our one shots and stuff, our convention coverage, random box openings. I have three, not one, but 3 box openings that are coming out this week. You can just subscribe to the channel, and if you subscribe to the channel, you'll also know when the Kita Anime Podcast comes back because it will just show up. I'll keep the RSS feed going and whatnot, so just keep that there, and then one day you'll just be sitting there and going, whatever happened to those Kita Anime Podcast guys? And then all of a sudden, bam, new episode just downloads. And you're like, what?
Probably not like that. That's way too dramatic.
I thought that wasn't dramatic enough.
Probably good thing.
On there. But that's how you can keep in contact with us, or send us an email. In the almost 3 years, I've gotten 0 emails from anybody, but shoot us an email, kita@ktdata.net.
Yeah, let us know of anything you want us to try to do to change up the show a bit. I mean, we're always listening to it. And whenever someone talks, we generally will listen and try to improve on it. So if you want to see us actually in the same room and have a mud wrestling death match, I doubt KT will actually join in, but yes.
Bring a box cutter to the death match.
Exactly.
That's what I do.
But yes, let us to send us feedback at ktdata.net. I've only been doing this for 3 years and I already stuttered.
But and finally, thank you, all of you who have been listening. At least if this is your first episode, thank you. If you've been listening from the start, thank you. If you started in the middle or 3/4 of the way, thank you everybody for following us this long. It's awesome to kind of talk with you guys and just see you. I mean, it's cool when we're walking along and people are like, wait a minute, don't you do that anime podcast? Or just some of the discussions that we've had over the years. Please keep hanging around ktdata.net. We want to keep some of the, keep in contact with you all. And thank you so much for, letting us feel your ear holes and some of you or your eye holes too for almost 3 years on there.
That sounded so dirty. And that's my last pun for the night.
I want to leave an impression, Dito.
You already did, technically. Holes.
And Dito, thank you for taking this risk. And, I come out of the blue. Hey, I want to do an anime podcast. You want to be in on it?
KT?
With no hesitation at all, you said yes, not knowing what you're getting yourself into.
KT, you forgot someone very important to you.
I'll get to her. We're having bro time right now. Don't ruin the moment. Don't ruin the moment. We're having
blame her in the chat.
We're having bro time right now.
She's like this. She's like this.
She can wait until last. We're having a moment right now, Sparky. The music was all playing and everything, and you just had to ruin it, man. Gosh, Sparky, gosh. But no, I really do appreciate all the stuff. It's been fun, and hopefully we still can get you out of your books from time to time so we can go do convention coverages or one-shots or something like that, man, until we can finally get everything put together and revive the Kita Anime podcast.
Dun, dun, dun. But I won't, don't worry, guys, I won't be gone forever. I will still be putting out my reviews for stuff when I can. I mean, I just barely got Under Night In-Birth, which is a Japanese fighting game release that follows the same pattern or the same company who did Melty Blood, for those who remember that, for Tsukihime. I'm going to be trying to put something together for that one here really soon. I've been playing the crap out of it all week. And, check that out. It's KTDataNet for Under Night In-Birth.
Yeah. So, like I said, the show's not gone. It's just taking a break. And finally, thank you to our other Facebook admin who decided to ruin this perfect moment that I was having with Dito. But you have a spot in my heart, Sparky. And it just, it ignites it every time I talk to you. But thank you, Sparky, for showing up in chat, helping run our Facebook page, all that good stuff. So that's why you should go to the Facebook page. Sparky's there, and you can talk to her on there. But yeah, like I said, guys, I can't thank you more than enough. And until the next time we have a Kita Anime podcast, bye-bye. Don't forget to poop, guys. The show might not be around, but don't forget to poop. Colon health is important. Bye.